Shalom. I want you to listen to a little of this.
But it also says a future judgment. Is Gehenna a place on earth? Yes or no? According to the Greek, they likened it yes. Okay. But it also refers to a future judgment. The lake of fire will be on earth in Israel. I didn't say that. That's what you're trying to. You're trying to fit. You see, I see what you're doing, brother. Don't do that, please. When you look at the definition, there's multiple definitions, brother. The same way how we went to the hell in the Old Testament. Gehenna is a future judgment. The lake of fire. That is what I'm saying. Now, when you go, if we could please, Baba Kasha, let's go over here to the book of Luke. I'm saying that it's going to be in the spirit realm. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the lake of fire is going to be in the spirit world? Yes. All right. But please don't do this. Please.
Okay, now let me bring this back. Okay, this guy right here, this is We Want Smoke, number 141. Don't be scared, be prepared. And this is an individual by the name of Ronan Refined. He's under other names. He's come on our page and kind of sided with us. This guy goes back, I don't know, 2-3 years or more. But the spirit's not dealing with him because he's not coming through the straight gate. The deacon really didn't explain it because I caught it. In other words, you got to go back to get the whole thing. But the deacon of car is trying to explain that the word hell translated, from the Hebrew, translates into the word grave. Now you have, I'm gonna make this short, and then I'm gonna come back and do another video. Now you have, let me do this. Okay, where I gotta find this tab first. Give me a second. Okay, I gotta find a tab. Bear with me for a minute. I gotta let me see if I can find this. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. I might have to pick it up again. What the hell happened? Let me do this. Let me try to do it this way. I mean, I don't need to do try it this way. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, here it goes. I just got to bring it back up. All right, let me come back. Rolling. Okay, so this individual, he hasn't come in, and he'll be on my page either later tonight or the next day. He hasn't come through the straight gate. When he heard about us, and he heard about, of course, he heard about the other One West camps. And I remember the first time he was under another name, but Ronan, I believe, was in his name. So this is another avatar. And I remember the first time I heard of him, I saw him, and I did a video kind of Picked him up for that. He did a breakdown on the MOTB, and he was correct. So I don't know if I re-uploaded the video or whatever. I forget what it was. This was a couple of years back, and he's kind of been in contact with myself and I would guess Apostle Orion Lob, so they know him, and I believe certain other individuals like Yashawamba, Elder Yashawamba, knows him as well. And through the years, he kind of disappears and he kind of, comes back on the scene. And if he had followed GMS, he wouldn't be teaching that hell is a condition like the lake of fire. The lake of fire is just John seeing a bird's eye view or schematic of Babylon the Great being burnt up, and it looked like a lake of fire, because it said that hell was cast into the lake of fire. Now, what I wanted to do, let me try this. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this tab and I'm going to go into the word hell. And Deacon Hakar didn't want to really deal with him. He wanted to get him off the phone because, his attitude was you can't break this down to somebody that can't see it. That's why it's a waste of time even, having discussions with vocab, because he's on a different wavelength. When you tell him certain things in the scriptures, he runs back to what he learned at his whatever theological cemetery he went to. That's why when hell comes up, oh, hell is not, because he's going back to what he learned. Reincarnation, he's going back to what he learned. Well, they never taught reincarnation, but when it came up, well, they never taught me that in the school that the theological cemetery that I went to. So it must be wrong. Tahar is wrong. I'm gonna do a video. Anyway, let me take the word hell. And Ronan mentioned the belly of the fish, belly of hell, meaning Jonah in the belly of fish. It's talking about a condition, a near death. The scriptures, look, when the Lord said, I have meat you know not of, was he talking about actual meat? No. When Samson said, who's been plowing with my heifer? It ain't talking about taking a heifer, an actual heifer, a cow, so you can understand, and putting a yoke and plowing with it. It's talking about his woman. Who's been plowing with my heifer? So let's deal with the word hell. Okay, this is David speaking. 2 Samuel 22, verse 6. The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. In other words, let me go to the first verse. See, if this is not meant for you to get it, you're not going to get it. If you're not of the elect, you're not going to get it. And I see why Deacon Hakar kind of said, look, let's move on to the next caller, because he already sees that you're not going to get it. You already have it set in your mind that that's hell. And see, the reason why that is because you pursuant to John 10, you climbed in another way. You kind of agree with GMS and you kind of agree with certain One West camps, but there's certain things you don't agree with. You're not on the same page, and you're not out there teaching, because in order for you to be a teacher, you have to get this word correct, perfect. Eat this roll. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, I always go to. It says, eat this roll, meaning fully understand the teachings of these scriptures. And then once it's digested in you and you fully understand, then you go out and teach. You're not out there teaching. And when you're teaching, you're not teaching the truth, because If the spirit was dealing with you, you wouldn't call the show asking a question like that, because the Most High haven't opened your mind to it. The same goes with the IUIC not seeing the charagma. Same goes with the ISUPK not seeing the charagma. There's two reasons why they don't see it. Either the spirit blinded them or they took that bag. Two reasons. So let me start at the first verse. And David spake unto the Lord the words of this song, which this is a Psalms, all right? Actually, this is Psalm. Let me see if this is the same exact Psalm. Bear me for a minute. Let me get the verse. Well, you can read that Psalm. Psalm 18, verse 1. It says, and David spake unto Yahweh the words of this psalm, in the day that Yahweh had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul, because Saul was his number one enemy at that time. It wasn't Esau, which we applied the Psalms of David, the enemies that he dealt with, we applied to Esau now. And he said, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. The Most High of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn power of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my savior. Thou savest me from violence, from getting put to death. I will call on Yahweh, who is worthy to be praised. Yeah, because Nate should read this psalm. I will call on Yahweh. It didn't say I will call on Most High Christ blessed. It said I will call on Yahweh, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. In this case, his enemy was Saul. What do we apply this to now? Esau. When the waves of death compass me, the floods of ungodly men, which Saul was an ungodly man, even though he was an Israelite, made me afraid. Esau didn't make him afraid. Esau was slaves under him. So this is not talking about Esau. Now, when we read this psalm and apply it to ourselves is talking about Esau. He's the enemy. Saul is no longer the enemy. It says the sorrows of hell compassed me about and the snares of death prevented me. So the sorrows of hell, meaning he was close to the grave. Let's look up the word hell here. And like I said, the words in the scriptures, like the Lord said, I have meat you know not of. He wasn't talking about actual meat. The disciples going to one meat market, the Lord going to another meat market, which is better than the meat market. No, it has nothing to do with meat. So let me look up the word hell. Which is sha'awal or sha'o. It's a sha'al underworld grave. It means grave or pit. It doesn't mean this subterranean place that you got a devil down there with a trident. Place of no return, meaning when you die, you turn into dust. The scriptures say, the place where the worm dieth not. I'm gonna read that. Without praise of the Most High, because you're dead. The spirit is, you only praise the Most High through the spirit. Let me try to find this worm. Worm. Let me do it this way. Worm. Okay, it says here, Mark 9, verse 48. Where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. Now you might say, oh, that's talking about hell. You're burned in hell, the fire is not quenched. Well, wait a minute. If you're engulfed in flames and you have worms around you, Doesn't it make sense that the worms would be on flames too, be in flames too? The place where it says where their worm dieth not is talking about the only thing living down there in the grave are the worms, and they're eating you. And the fire is not quenched. Now that right there, if you don't understand, you're gonna think, oh, that's talking about actual hell, that you burn in hell. Well, if you burn in hell, the worms would die, burn with you. Let me do this. Let me go to hellfire, hellfire, hellfire. And see, you, Ronan, you will never get this truth because you never came in through the straight gate. You climbed in another way, pursuant to John. Okay, let me go to Matthew. I'm gonna cut this short. Matthew 18, verse 9. Okay, hell, fire. Fire just means fire. You know, the word is pour fire. Let me go to the word hell. Now, most of the time, if you put in hell in the New Testament, the word there will be Hades, which means the grave. But over here is Gehenna. It says hell is the place of the future punishment called Gehenna, that they added to that. Gehenna, or Gehenna fire. This was originally the valley of Hinnom, south of Jerusalem, where the filth and dead animals of the city were cast out and burned, a fit symbol of the wicked and their future destruction. Well, they're right, half right on that, because that fire is talking about the missiles, but that fire is going to, you know, subside. I guess that's the word. That's when you use water, flood, subsides. I guess fire does as well. But the fire is going to stop, and there's going to be smoke. Let me go to smoke. So, and I understand exactly why Deacon Hakar wanted to get rid of you, because it's over your head. It's a waste of time trying to explain it to you. And you, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. Your problem is you didn't come to the street. You coming in your own way. You didn't come up under teachers. You learned a little here. You use the words. You use a king and shalom, and you know, you might even call the name of the Most High. The Most High didn't give you his name. You got it from former One Westers, most likely us. Anyway, let me see here. Bear me for a minute. Okay, right here it says Revelation 14, verse 11, and the smoke of their torment ascended. And that smoke is what? From the missiles, from the lasers from the ship, up forever and ever, meaning for a long time until it stopped. And because afterwards, when the smoke clears, it's going to be a vast desert. And they have no rest day or night. Now you're thinking that's talking about them burning in hell. No, it's talking about them being our slaves. The plowman shall overtake the reaper, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark in his hand, in his mark, receiveth the mark of his name. Now the mark is the charagma, right? So you're gonna have Jakes that's gonna take the charagma. So are they gonna burn in hell? No. It's talking about Esau. Jake is gonna be forgiven of them, the fact that they took the mark. Okay. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. And I'll be back with another video, Most High willing. Shalom.